empowering women and girls across the UN's efforts, reforming the UN Security Council to better represent the developing world and, more broadly, the world as it is today. The United States believes that this should include 2 permanent seats for Africa, 1 rotating seat for small island developing states, permanent representation for Latin America and the Caribbean, in addition to the permanent seats for countries we've long endorsed, Germany, Japan, India. The United States supports starting negotiations on Council reforms immediately. The Pact for the Future does not include every priority, every reform that we believe the UN needs, but it is a significant step towards strengthening and evolving this institution that every member state should get behind and work to achieve. We're also pursuing reforms in other international institutions, as well as in our own country, that advance the bold goals and the aspirations of many member states, particularly those we've heard directly from developing countries. We strongly supported the African Union joining the G20 so that African voices are better represented in that group. We're leading efforts to strengthen the ability of multilateral development banks to deliver on the Sustainable Development Goals. We're making the biggest investments of any country ever to accelerate the transition to clean energy at home while dedicating billions to help people in developing countries adapt to and manage the impacts of the climate crisis. And as the world's leading humanitarian donor, we are forging new partnerships across public and private sectors to meet what are unprecedented needs around the world. These are important steps, but more must be done because simply preserving the status quo is not an option. The United States is committed to adapting the UN system to reflect this world of today and tomorrow, not the one that existed in 1945. But we are, and we will, remain resolutely opposed to revisionism. We will not accept efforts to tear down, dilute, or fundamentally alter the core principles of the UN Charter: sovereignty, territorial integrity, independence.
Tant que nous aurons un Conseil de sécurité qui est bloqué, je dirais de manière réciproque selon les intérêts par les uns et les autres, on aura du mal à avancer. Est-ce qu'il y a un meilleur système? Je ne le crois pas. Et donc rendons simplement ces Nations Unies plus efficaces, d'abord en les rendant peut-être plus représentatifs. C'est pourquoi la France, et je le redis ici, est favorable à ce que le Conseil de sécurité soit élargi. L'Allemagne, le Japon, l'Inde, le Brésil devraient en être des membres permanents, de même que 2 pays que l'Afrique désignerait pour la représenter.
But fairer representation in how we reach them. And this also applies to the Security Council. It has to change to become a more representative body, willing to act, not paralysed by politics. We want to see permanent African representation on the Council. Brazil, India, Japan and Germany as permanent members, and more seats for elected members as well. Finally, to support this, we will also change how the UK does things, moving from the paternalism of the past towards partnership for the future, listening a lot more, speaking a bit less,